Hey, welcome I'll leave it out. Go ahead. Welcome everybody. Thank you for, is that good? Yeah. Thank you for joining us. I want everybody to introduce themselves. We've got the same day registration folks here. Come on, Feline, aren't you coming up here? Well, you worked hard on this bill. You start out, introduce yourself.
Feline Taramina, I'm the Advocacy Director for AARP.
What's your name, sir?
Representative Tony Klein.
East Montpelier, the center of the universe.
Absolutely. Next to the center of you.
Next to Putney. Yeah, go ahead.
John Holler, Mayor of Montpelier.
And John, thanks for having us. You're an extraordinary mayor. We love your city hall.
Thank you,
Thanks for having us in.
Honored to have you here.
Kate Rader, League of Women Voters.
East Montpelier.
East Montpelier.
Oh my God. Patricia Sears, AARP Vermont, Lowell, Vermont.
Lowell.
In the Northeast Kingdom.
Yeah.
Representative Linda Martin from Woket. I help champion this bill through.
Thanks for your great work, Linda.
Chris Winters, Deputy Secretary of State. Berlin.
We got the Honorable Senate. Come on down here.
They're
past mayors.
Oh, that's true. We got the mayors here. Mayors, take it away.
Senator Ann Cummings, Washington County.
Representative Mary Hooper from the heart of the center of the state.
And really, truthfully, both former mayors of this great city. And did great work as mayors and now do great work in the Senate and House.
Representative Shap Smith from Mooresville.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Julia Michelle. I'm the Energy and Democracy Advocate at VPIRG.
I'm John Odom. I'm the Montpelier City Clerk.
I'm Annette Cappy, and I'm the Brattleboro Town Clerk.
And I've got to say about Annette Cappy. Annette Cappy, first of all, she's from Windham County. That is Vermont. It's not Massachusetts, despite what some of you think. And I'm from there too. And Annette Cappy was on board of same-day registration long before it was even remotely fashionable. So thank you for being so persistent for driving up.
I'm Dottie Deans, Chair of the Vermont Democratic Party from North Pomfret, Vermont.
Tim German, Representative from Essex Junction and Vice Chair of the Vermont Democratic Party.
I'm Jim Condos, Secretary of State.
And we got to give it up to the VPIRG canvassers that are here. This bill never would have happened without VPIRG, like so many of the great things in Vermont. But raise your hand if you're a VPIRG canvasser. Woo! So thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to be very brief. We're going to hear from a bunch of folks. I want to thank Mayor Holler. I want to thank John Odom and the City of Montpelier for hosting us. I want to thank the folks who worked so hard on this bill. It took leadership to get same-day voter registration through. It's been a long journey, and I'm incredibly proud of the legislative leadership, committees that worked so hard on this, the advocates that just introduced themselves, the entire team for getting this bill across the finish line. Why is it so important? It's so important because for the greatest democracy in the world, the number of people who vote in elections is lower than it should be and hurts our democracy because it's so low. One thing that we all know is that if you give folks access to voting, not barriers to voting that have become so fashionable in state after state in America, but access to voting, the numbers go up and democracy is healthier as a result. So today we're going to sign a bill that all the folks here have worked collectively on, and some who could not be here, that makes Vermont the 14th state in the nation to insist and ensure that everybody has the right to vote, and that we open up the availability of joining this great democracy by participating, as opposed to putting barriers in the road of voter participation that only undermines and destroys our democracy. The greatest advocate, one of the greatest advocates for same day for years in the legislature has been VPIRG. And for every, if Paul Burns got one gray hair for every year that this bill hasn't passed, it would explain why his temples are turning gray. There's no one who worked harder on the bill than Julia Michelle for this bill. So Julia, take it away. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Governor. I'd like to thank legislative leadership as well, my former intern boss, Mr. Speaker, some legislative champs, including Representative Martin and, as was mentioned, those who weren't able to make it today, Senators Polina and White. I also want to thank Secretary Kondos and his staff. Their support and leadership never wavered, and we wouldn't be here today without them. A number of other advocacy organizations played a significant role, including AARP, the League of Women Voters, and some of our national partners at DEMOS. On behalf of VPIRG and our 30,000 members, I want to say how thrilled we are to be standing here today. As you heard, VPIRG has worked for more than a decade on Election Day registration, really for one simple reason. We think democracy works best when more people participate. So we want to do everything we can to encourage that participation and help Vermonters exercise their right to vote. As someone who has personally organized voter registration drives, I'm often surprised, saddened really, how many folks who are otherwise eligible to vote simply aren't registered. I couldn't wait to turn 18 because I wanted to vote, but not every first-time voter even knows they need to be registered ahead of time. When it comes down to it though, every citizen has a right to vote. And sometimes that needs to just be made a little bit more convenient. I think many times we actually underestimate those who want to exercise that right. In fact, VPIRG organized a voter registration drive this fall. We partnered with Ben & Jerry's, and the voter registration forms ran out before the free ice cream did. So sometimes it takes a little bit more than just ice cream. You know, that's where this bill is going to come in today. By allowing Vermonters to register on Election Day, we will be making it much more convenient for them to get registered, obviously, and to vote and participate in our democracy. In the end, institutional barriers should not get between you and the ballot box. You have a right to vote. So that's what we're here today, and we are really excited to see this turn into law. If you like democracy, those Vermonters out there, I think you're going to love this bill.
Way to go. Anything anyone wants to add before we sign this bill? Senator? Representative? Mayors? No? Or town clerks? All good? Let's rock. Come on, everyone, come on in. Let's go to the bill signing. Now you can. All right. So, Scott tells me this is a triple pen bill. Really, it should be a 24 pen bill, but not that many letters. Okay, ready? All right. Who argues that it's June 1st? Anyone? 6, 1, 15. It's law, team. Way to go.